I used to drive to work at 3 a.m. It was dark, cold, quiet. I was the store opener. Every morning, I passed by these beautiful houses and nice cars parked in driveways. Lexuses, Audis, Benzes. I remember thinking, how did they do it? And to be honest, I never really cared about making that much money, but I was always fascinated by it. What am I missing? And at the time, I didn't have a clue. I figured maybe they were just lucky, had rich parents, hit the lottery, or had some perfect high-paying job. Then eventually, I became an entrepreneur and thought I had it all figured out. I thought working hard was the key. And don't get me wrong, work ethic matters. But what I didn't know was this: the key to more money wasn't just working harder, it's believing deeper, shifting your mindset. And the scary thing, you can only earn at the level you believe. So unless you inherited wealth, won the lottery, or landed a six-figure career by accident, the rest of us are operating on belief. If you don't believe you can make a four-figure day, you won't. If you don't believe you can have a six-figure year, you'll sabotage yourself every time you get close. Why? Because faith cometh by hearing. Romans 10:17. And if you never heard it's possible, or more importantly, that it's possible for you, then your subconscious will block the blessing every time. That's why I say the Bible is the greatest success book of all time. It doesn't just teach spiritual discipline. It teaches structure, action, belief, and purpose. You see, if I came from a broken home where money was always tight and struggle was normal, then guess what? That belief got programmed into me. It was passed down from one generation to the next like a plague. And it wasn't until I started unlearning survival thinking that my income changed. If you're always in fear, you can't flow in faith. It wasn't just learning something new. It was about letting go of what wasn't true. Things like, money is hard to make. People like me never get ahead. Success is for other people, not me. Or I'm not good enough to make that kind of money. That kind of programming keeps you spinning your wheels. It makes you hesitate, doubt, start things but never finish. And it's sneaky because it shows up in your habits. You'll procrastinate on launching something. You'll downplay your skills. You'll aim low just to avoid disappointment. So renewing your mind isn't just fluff when people talk about it. It's required. And if you're watching to the end of this video, I believe you'll never be the same again. So let's talk about belief. If I begin to believe that I can master a skill, that I can change a life, get good at something, become valuable, then everything shifts. Because here's the truth. Your circumstances don't define your ceiling. Your belief does. There came a point where my 9-to-5 just wasn't serving me anymore. I knew I was meant for more. I wanted time freedom, creative freedom, legacy. So I took a leap of faith. I started working hard, but quickly realized there was more to it than meets the eye. It wasn't just about work ethic. I was missing the mindset. I was missing the spiritual discipline. I was missing the identity alignment. I remember a time in business when I had a huge month and what I thought was a breakthrough. But the next month, I barely made anything. Why? Because deep down, I didn't believe it was sustainable. I believed that the sales would run out. I believed the majority of people didn't want to spend. My subconscious was still stuck in survival mode, and I hadn't fully embraced the identity of someone who deserved overflow. It wasn't until I sat down with God and replaced the lies with belief, with positive thinking, and with truth, then I finally experienced consistency. That's when the shift happened. Not just financially, but mentally. I stopped identifying with struggle and started identifying with stewardship. Last month, I dropped a video called Your Money Problem is Spiritual. Over 80,000 viewers watched it. But today, I want to take you deeper, because what good is the revelation without reprogramming? Your money problem is a mind problem. See, I learned that the formula is mindset, skill set, plus asset equals acceleration. You can master a new skill, especially in today's world, but you won't until you believe that you can. How do you master a new skill? You learn everything you can about it. You study it, you absorb it, watch the pros, take notes, and let it sink in. You read books, you invest in trainings, you fill your mind with knowledge and examples from people who've already done it. Then you execute on it over and over again. Repetition is the mother of mastery. And here's the key. Apply it fast. Don't sit on ideas for 6 months. Don't spend weeks trying to perfect one piece of content. Speed of implementation is the cheat code. If you can take information, process it, and apply it fast, You'll outperform people who have been sitting on potential for years. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't show up. So you try, you fail, you adjust, you try again, and eventually you get so good you can help someone else do it. You get so good that you can't be denied. That's when you know you're locked in. Mastery is earned through focused repetition, immersion, obsession, and a refusal to quit. People will pay you for your skill. And if you want to accelerate that process, invest in your skills. Pay someone who has real experience and is where you want to be already. People who pay attention. People who invest out of their blood, sweat, and tears tend to pay closer attention. They hold themselves accountable. They show up and do the work. If you're building a brand, ask yourself, are you consistent? Are you applying what you're learning? Are you even posting online about your brand? Are you committed for the long haul? Time is going to pass anyway. You might as well build it now, no matter how long it takes. At least you went for it. At least you showed up. Most people waste years doing nothing, scrolling, waiting, talking. But you can choose to build now. You can monetize your knowledge. You can create systems. You can free up your time and scale your impact. But you must first believe you can. So how do you become valuable? The marketplace doesn't pay you for time. It pays you for value. And value is something you become, not just something you charge. You become valuable by obtaining value, acting on that value, and letting it become a part of who you are. You don't just watch content, you apply it. You don't just read books, you live them. And when the knowledge gets internalized, the marketplace can sense it. Real value has weight. People feel it when you speak, when you show up, when you lead. It's not just empty words. You have depth. It's truth that's been tested and tried. And value is recognized in results, not just in words. That's why those who master their craft, serve with excellence, and lead with integrity always win, because their value is undeniable. And value means solving real people's problems. If you can take someone from point A to point B faster, easier, or more effectively, you've got value. That's what books are all about. People's experiences, things that they've gone through, that they share with someone else that will help someone else. And everybody has the same 24 hours as everybody else. The only difference is how you direct your energy. And money is energy. Think of your energy like capital. Every day you're either investing it or spending it on things that give you nothing back. Worry is a tax. Overthinking is a fee. Scrolling is a silent bill you never see until it adds up. But when you get intentional, putting your mental energy toward creating, helping, building, returns begin to come. And being consistent over time, the law of compounding, adds up. Energy flows where attention goes. And if you're pouring all your energy into worry, fear, or distraction, you'll stay broke. If you think on lack, think on problems, you'll stay broke. But if you think on opportunities, if you redirect that same energy into building, into discipline, into service, everything changes. Into income-producing activities, where you aim your mind, your time, and your spirit can determine your income. God can do a lot with someone who's focused, disciplined, and submitted to the process. And negative substances, let's talk about, can produce creative energy. People rely on them, but it's not clean energy. There's always a cost to it. Addiction. It burns you out. There's a crash. There's always a string attached. But when your spirit is in the driver's seat, your discipline must follow. How do you master discipline? You either run on something negative, anger, fear, desperation, substances, or you master being connected to the source, which is God. You develop your spiritual state through relationship and through fasting. You learn to hear clearly. You obey when it doesn't make sense. You build when no one's around. You think it made sense when Noah was building the ark and people were laughing at him? And he built the ark for years and years and years. And still there was no rain. But he trusted that over time that consistency would pay off. And he finished it. But there was still no rain yet. But then God sent the rain. And you be consistent until God sends the rain, even when you don't see results right away. So let's go back to possibilities. In the accelerated mindset training, I talk about learning to think in possibilities. If I see something I want, I don't say I can't have that or I wish I could have that. I ask, how can I obtain that? It's a different mindset. It's a different frequency. Because when you believe different, you move different. If I want something, I'll put an image of it on my computer or I'll write it on my whiteboard. Because what you think about comes about. So I keep it in front of my mind every day so I don't lose sight of the goal. I remember this guy at one of my first jobs. He wanted a car bad. He was doing doubles, working like a madman. I couldn't even fathom how he kept going. And I called him crazy. But every day, he'd talk about the car that he wanted. He'd say, yeah, I'm grinding now. I'm working hard now, but I'm going to have it real soon. And he kept the vision in his mind. And that released the excitement that he needed. That released the dopamine. That's what helped him push through those long shifts. And stop hanging around broke people unless you're helping them get better. Stop shrinking to fit into broke environments. Stop making excuses. You're not waiting on money. You're waiting on permission. You're waiting on you. If you're not there yet, that doesn't mean it's not for you. It just means you're still becoming the version of yourself that can sustain it. You know, I have a saying, if something detrimental happens, or I need to make more money, or something goes on in the business, I say I'll figure it out no matter what. I'd rather die than go backwards in life. And that's what keeps me moving forward. So build with what's in your hand. Think possibility. Speak faith. Move in action. Watch your words. Speak positive. Be careful who you listen to. The people you listen to will become your future. If you're hanging around people who always doubt, always delay, always debate, you'll inherit their limitations. Expand your mind. But if you position yourself in rooms of possibility and wealth, even if you're the most broke or the least experienced person in there, you're winning. Because proximity is prophetic, meaning that the 5 people that you hang around, you'll eventually become. You'll rise to the level of your environment. It's not about impressing people. It's about calibrating your thinking. You get around winners, your baseline changes. Suddenly, things that used to feel impossible start to feel normal. Not because they specifically got easier, but because you got exposed. And that becomes your new normal. And exposure changes everything. That's why I invested before I was ready. I stepped into circles that made me feel small, not in value, but in capacity. They forced me to stretch. I would put myself in the tightest situations on purpose, so it would force me to grow. It would force me to level up. It would force me to produce. A lot of times we don't move forward unless our back is against the wall. So let go of the small thinking and step into the big vision. And I always like to recommend some of the books that I've read. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone will change your life, change my life dramatically. And also The Magic of Thinking Big. And that's how you accelerate. You learn from those who have already done it. Then you begin to master it. And once your mind stretches to that level, it never goes back to small thinking because you know what's possible now. You've made it a staple in your mind. Your life will always rise or fall to the level of your mindset. So let this be your moment. Channel your energy, master your mind, build your faith. That's how you break the cycle for good. Keep it in the forefront every day. Write it on your whiteboard. Write it in your phone. Write it in your notes. Put up Post-its all over the house, in your car. Don't let old thinking come back. And that's it for this video. If this video has changed your life in some way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with someone who might need it. And if you want to sharpen your focus for more wealth, I invite you to check out my accelerated mindset training. This is the exact mindset that changed my life forever. Helped me to get more done in less time, helped me to stay hyper-focused, and to start crushing my goals like clockwork. And I also launched the One-Person Business Digital Empire Blueprint, where I show you how I made a whole salary online with the principles in the training. Links down below. Build your empire. And if you need any help or have any questions, feel free to reach out. And I did just add the Accelerated Mind to the Digital Empire Blueprint, so you have the 2-in-1. Go ahead and grab it if you're interested. I'll probably be raising the price soon. And I'm currently writing the Power to Get Wealth book. It's still in progress. I'm going to do my best to finish it up in the next few months. And again, that's it for this video. I'll see you on the next one. I'll see you soon.